Hey guys, welcome to the shop. I'm Tim with Divergent Elite Detailing. We're located in McDonough, Georgia. If you've seen any of our videos, you may have noticed one a few months ago about a particular patrol car that we brought in the shop. Our Locust Grove, our local police department in Locust Grove, has a parade car that's a replica of the patrol car that's featured in the Andy Griffith show. Now, this car happens to be a 1959 model. In the show itself, though, it has a 1963, and the difference in the body styles, if you're familiar with the 50s model cars, they're shorter and fatter. So you'll see the more robust fenders and what have you, and especially on the back on the fin. When you look at the 1963, which is actually what's in the show, you're going to see a longer, more sleek car. So you'll notice that, especially on the back end where you see the back is much longer, and then you have more of a thin line on your fins in the rear. So, but this car, they use it in parades a lot in Locust Grove, and been sitting out in the sun 24/7. Drove by there one day and stopped to look at it and could tell the paint was faded, and that over time the paint was just going to start flaking off. So spoke to the chief and said, hey, let's bring the car in and let's preserve it. So we brought it in to do a multi-stage polish on it, and then we're going to ceramic coat it to protect it. So let me kind of walk you through some of what we've done. We brought it in, we wanted to first do a deep decontamination. When you looked at the surface, especially your white paint, the pigmentation in there is called titanium dioxide. If you think about campers, if you think about boats, if you think about cars and vehicles that are white, when you rub your hand on them, you get a lot of chalkiness on there. So that titanium dioxide will break down and become very chalky. Over time, it kind of becomes self-corrosive. It becomes acidic, if you will, and just starts decomposing over time. So that was one of the first things that we wanted to do and the decontamination process is do a clay bar treatment on it to remove all of that excess, stuff that was on there. So we wanted to go through and do that. So we did that during the wash process, and it's amazing how even doing the mechanical decontamination like a clay bar took it from that very, very chalky feel to a very slick feel. Even though it was still dull to the finish, it still felt much better to get all of that oxidation off of there. So then next we ended up doing the entire car, getting it clean, getting it decontaminated, and getting it ready for the next step. Then we started with the next step was we went to a multi-stage polish. Multi-stage polish is going to remove predominantly the most of the scratches. That's really the goal of it, to take it to a show car look. Sometimes you have to consider the surface that you're working with. Our guess is that when this car was originally painted, it was white all over. Then they came back to mimic the patrol car in the show and did the front and the rear in the black. So you have a thin layer of black paint on the top and then white paint that's up under it. You can see the lines here of the white paint on the edges where it started to crack off over time, to flake off over time. So you see that in there. So what you have is a very, very thin layer of black paint on top of the white. Even when you do a millage reading on it, so we have a device that you can put on there and it will tell you the total millage of it. What it doesn't do, ours at least doesn't, is tell us the difference in how much of that thickness is black paint versus how much of it's white and so forth. So you only have so much surface to work with on the black paint, and because we didn't want to have to necessarily repaint the car for them, we kind of did it with caution. So we went as deep as we felt like we should in removing the scratches. So all that to say that if you come and look at it, you're still going to see some scratches down in there, but we wanted to mainly preserve the shine and the enriched color, and then do a great amount of scratch removal, but we did not remove all of them for that reason. We didn't want to just keep going and digging on the paint itself. The way that you polish and remove scratches, you diminish the surface. Diminishing the surface would be like a piece of wood that had a scratch in there. The way you get rid of the scratch is to reduce all of the wood that's around it to the depth of the deepest part of that scratch, and now that's where the scratch is removed. That's how you do that on here. So we stopped shy of repainting the car. so not all the scratches are gone. But we have improved the shine. We've enriched the color a lot. We've gotten all the oxidation off the white part and the black as well, but especially the white. So all of that's ready. After we finish the polishing phase, what we're going to do today, and what I'm actually doing, is the final prep, which is the final wipe down before we put ceramic coating on it. The ceramic coating that we're going to use is a 9-year product by Gtechniq. It's called Crystal Serum Ultra. It actually puts a layer of liquid crystal on the surface that will last for 9 years. Now, we as a shop are the only people, or the only company around that can buy and apply that product. We are appointed by Gtechniq and certified to be able to use that particular product. So that's exclusive to us in our area. But we wanted to put the best on there. Now, we're also going to we've polished out the chrome, we've polished the wheels, we've done the glass. So on here, in addition to paint ceramic, we're gonna do wheel ceramic, then we're going to do glass ceramic. So each of the ceramics that we use, we don't do a one size fits all. We use a product that is made for that particular surface. So we're gonna do paint, we're gonna do wheels, and we're gonna do glass. So we'll have those things protected. There's a parade coming up soon. The holidays are around the corner. So it'll be neat to see the car now shining and looking her best as she's in the show. But I've got some befores and afters. You can see part of the after right now, but I've got some film that I'll show you, some pictures of what she looked like when she came in the shop. But it's been fun to work on that. So Chief, thank you. And two, thank you for what our local law enforcement and first responders do for our community here in Henry County. It's a thankless job many times, but I want you to know we appreciate you guys, the way you serve us. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you in our community, representing our community the way you do. So thank you for what you do. And thank you for allowing us to babysit your baby for a little while and to get her looking good. And we will have her wrapped up this week and then have it presented back to the chief and his team there at Locust Grove Police Department. But if you have questions about a particular product that you have or project that you have, give us a call. We'd love to help answer those questions for you. You can do that by calling us at 678-310-3153, or you can submit that question at divergentdetailing.com.